Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, we know, according to recent polling, that 32% of Biden voters in 2020 are Democrats right now, are backing another Democrat or remain undecided in the 2024 Democrat primary. We've talked quite a bit on this channel about the Republican primary, the brewing divide between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. However, we haven't really touched a whole lot on the Democrat primary. And Joe Biden has some primary challengers from the left, or I guess you would say in the case of this individual, you could argue from the right on some issues. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is that individual. He is a Kennedy. He has jumped in the presidential race, and he has some interesting positions. We're going to get into where he stands on things in this video. We'll talk about who exactly has jumped in this race, but we do know that Biden is in trouble if he cannot unite his party. Just as if the Republican Party is not united, they are going to struggle in November of 2024 as a result. And this poll right here shows Biden only getting 2/3 of his party on board. And then you look at his approval rating right now, it's not really in the best shape. It really hasn't been. He might go up a couple of points here. Oh, he's fallen again. He was at -8. Now he's back to -11. Never a good sign for a president. And a lot of those people that disapprove of him are in the middle, one could say. And a lot of people that voted for him last time disapprove of him, may not vote for him again. So this is important to take note. And if the Democrat Party is divided, Biden is going to struggle. So we're going to dive into this. We're also going to dive into this Robert F. Kennedy Jr. individual who is challenging Biden. But first, I have to tell you guys about redeaglepatriots.com. Just $5 a month or 16 cents a day. You can get all of our exclusive content. Not all of the videos that I make get out to this channel, but you can get access to all of my videos on redeaglepolitics.com for $5 a month. That's 16 cents a day. You also get access to the Discord server, as well as all of the articles and the newsletter that have been written. Once again, redeaglepolitics.com. Make sure you guys sign up today. But furthermore, this is important. Biden has two primary challengers. One of them is Marianne Williamson. If you remember the 2020 Democrat presidential debate, she was the crazy New Age healing crystal type of woman who talked in a bizarre accent and would just rant about peace and love or whatever. And she didn't really go anywhere last time around. She's likely not going anywhere this time around. She definitely is like that stand-in far left individual in the running. And then you have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He is the son of RFK. He is a part of that storied Kennedy dynasty family that has ruled much of politics over the past 60 years. They've been a big name. They've had big power players. You had President John F. Kennedy. You also had Ted Kennedy, who was a very notable senator. And then you had Representative Joe Kennedy III, most recently, who lost the Senate primary, but challenging an incumbent senator. That's definitely something that one could say is very difficult to do, but he still performed decently well, even though he lost the primary. So you can tell that the Kennedy name is powerful and it is respected among not just Democrat ranks, but also some independents and Republicans as well, who like to look back on the nostalgia of John F. Kennedy and his administration, whatever. But still, you can see this here. Not a lot of people know anything about this guy, but he's still polling at 14%. So the media is running cover for Biden. They're saying that he is like an anti-jab activist, and that's all he's really been known for. That's not entirely true. We'll talk about his presidential campaign. It's interesting. We see a lot of Republicans even jump to give sympathy to the guy, and I think a lot of that is unwarranted. I think it's interesting. I support his presidential run because more divide on the Democrat side will help the Republican nominee come 2024. But what we do know is that the guy has an interesting past. But furthermore, he's getting his support from conservative, self-identified conservative Democrats, younger voters, those who don't have a college degree. So you have some legacy ancestral Democrats in the mix, a good portion of which probably voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, might even do it again in 2024, etc. And he polled very well among the 33% of respondents who disapprove of Biden's job in the White House on the Democrat side, and 35% who said that his policies have been too liberal. So he's polling well against people who think Biden has gone too far. And that's interesting to note that there is a sizable portion potentially of Democrats who think that. And if they cause problems for Biden in a primary, even if Biden wins the primary easily, that's not a good thing going into a general election. So talking about where Robert F. Kennedy Jr. stands on the issues. He has some interesting positions, some of which are good and refreshing to hear a politician talk about. He is anti-jab mandate. He's actually pretty solid on the COVID issues, especially for a Democrat. I will say that. He gets points from me there. He's also anti-getting involved in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which is something that pretty much every Democrat wants to do. And he has pushed back on his own family at times, and they don't really like him, some of the more liberal members of his family, which arguably would hurt him in a primary like this. Although he does have some interesting positions regarding his family. He supports freeing the killer of his father. His family fought with him over that. Interesting individual. But in terms of the good, yeah, you have the anti-mandates, you have the interventionism, whatever. But then you have the downsides. He is very much so a generic Democrat on the issues. You could look at his website here. He has stressed things like peace abroad as foreign policy, better than Biden's, obviously, and he might throw out some rhetoric there, but you look at where he stands on issues like the environment, for example. He is an environmental nut job, wants to put in all these restrictions, has talked about arresting violators of them, and wants to arrest all these CEOs who go against his environmental guidelines, whatever. He supports gun control, he supports abortion, etc. He's not a conservative. He may be interesting on a couple positions compared to other Democrats, but other than that, this guy is not somebody who's going to be your friend. He might try to run a more like centrist campaign, talking about healing the divide, whatever, talking about peace. And obviously his foreign policy is promising. It's good. I'm not going to knock it. But I will say that overall, he's not somebody who is really a friend to the right in this country, and he still is a Democrat by and large, even though he may be a Democrat from 10, 15 years ago, whatever. I will say that he doesn't hold much of a chance. He can cause Biden some problems. If he's polling, anywhere from 10 to 20%, that's bad optics for Biden. It shows that there are people on the Democrat side who are not backing him unanimously in a primary, and that definitely is a problem for an incumbent. I don't think he's winning any states. He might win some counties if he stays in until like West Virginia. Yeah, there are some ancestral Dems who may back him that don't want to change their registration. A lot of them probably will be voting Republican in the general election. And the more votes that Biden doesn't get in a primary, definitely hurts him. So I do support him running, and he definitely can milk that family name for as many votes as he possibly can, which would be a good thing, but he doesn't really stand a chance. And even if he did advance to the general, yeah, I would advise any Republican or Trump supporter not to support the guy overall based on where he stands on all of the issues, not just one or two issues. And if Biden doesn't run, things will get interesting. I think Kennedy would probably stand even less of a chance because it wouldn't be a 1v1 type of thing. And then you'd have people like Kamala Harris jumping in the race. They'd probably put Gavin Newsom in the race. And it would probably become another clown car, unmitigated disaster where either Harris gets the nomination or Gavin Newsom gets the nomination. Biden hasn't announced his 2024 bid just yet. He keeps pushing it back, but it's apparent that it's laughable because the Democrats don't have a bench. And Biden still arguably, all of his flaws, his low approval rating, you name it, is still their strongest candidate. in 2024, which is astounding, even though the guy is barely sentient at this point. So we'll see what happens with this. Probably not a lot is going to amount to it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.